Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the final press conference of the 78th Tata Steel Chess Tournament. And first of all, my congratulations to Magnus Carlsen, who, as you well know, won the tournament. I think it's your fifth victory. Yeah. And not to say anything negative about Anand's achievement, of course, but what's astonishing, I think, it's the fifth victory in 8 appearances, which is, of course, phenomenal. When we
the ninth, or?
The ninth, maybe. Not so good. No, still phenomenal. Okay.
I can talk.
When we look at your tournament, one has to notice that you sort of had a slow start again, with 2 out of 4. Do you think that's just a coincidence, or is there another reason for that?
Well, I think at the start there was only one game that I was dissatisfied with, was the game with Mamadjarov, where I couldn't really make anything of it. Apart from that, I had a couple of blacks and complicated game with Karana, who I cannot expect to beat every time. But the result from last year gave me confidence that I can do this again, and I think it's shown not only by me but also by other people that the key is really to get on the streak at some point and just to start winning a lot of games in a short time. It doesn't really matter when you start winning them. It's just about getting that streak.
Okay. I also think I noticed in the tournament there was only one game in which you had a lost position against Luc van Wely, maybe.
Yeah, okay, not maybe. For one, yeah. No, I mean, at one moment it was definitely lost.
I say maybe because at the time you weren't totally convinced. Then, okay. But
no, I mean, I didn't know, and he didn't know. So, but of course, objectively, there was one moment, where you could have won.
Okay, and then my question is, what did you change? Did you change something compared with other tournaments? I mean, in 2015. You won a lot of games, but you lost a lot of games, and you had lost positions in other. Did you change your style in a way? Can you change your style, or is also that it happens and sometimes you're lost?
Well, I mean, it goes with both opening choices and choices that I make during the game. So I guess I started taking some more risks in the middle of the tournament, and then again at the end. It wasn't risking very much, neither with white or black.
Yeah, but for some reason it also doesn't seem necessary, because this is what bugs me all the time: is equal positions. It's no problem whatsoever. I mean, how come that equal positions are so dangerous for your opponents to play them against you? And okay, the game against Ivan Hau is an example, but maybe also the game against Michael Adams, some parts of it. Do you especially like those kind of positions?
No, I don't. I thought the game with Mickey, there was just about enough play to make it interesting, but with the game with Yifan, then I didn't really enjoy it too much. I mean, there was just too little in it, and I think sometimes I can win those games, but in general it was just too little, and I think those was really the only time in the tournament that I won a game in which there was very, very little to play for.
Okay. So in the end, you were undefeated in the tournament. Is that important, or do you just care about the score?
I care. I care about being undefeated. So in previous years, I've won a lot of games, and I've always more or less lost one or two as well. But yeah, this time maybe if Corona had kept the pace more, then I would have had to take more risks. But the way it went, then I was happy to keep my undefeated score.
Okay. As a result of this tournament, your ELO rating will go up again, but you're still way ahead of the rest. But your ELO rating at 2850 or something, is that important to you? Do you check like 2700 chess every day?
No.
Just to look at it and enjoy, maybe?
No. I'm happy that I'm playing decently again, and that I'm that there is some sense to my play, that I'm not just that it's just not just a mess in every game, and I know that when I play well, then my rating will follow. So I'm not too worried about that. So my rating right now is neither here nor there, and for me, I mean it's good, but it's not great, and it's not as bad as it was a little while ago. So I don't really think about it too much.
Okay, thank you. And then I have some questions about your second, Peter Heine Nielsen. I mean, he is a very decent player. I think he had like 2700 approximately.
I think exactly 2700.
Okay, exactly.
That was his peak.
Was just a guess. I was wondering, what is he actually preparing for you? Because like I checked it with Grandmaster Erwin Lamy. It's like d4, bishop f4 sometimes. The game's Mamediarov, you just play g3. Is he actually preparing a lot of openings for you?
He is. It's just sometimes I listen, sometimes I don't.
So this was my next question. Does he know what you're going to play when you enter tournament hall? Or do you every now and then completely change it?
Well, quite often I change. But no, I always think, well, if he doesn't know what I'm going to play, then my opponent certainly doesn't know either. So, and if I don't know what I'm going to play, then it's even better. Then there's no way my opponent can guess it.
I think so too. So actually, I was watching it closely when you played against Ivan Hau, and there was this Russian, and actually, I had the impression you were actually thinking if you really weren't going to play knight c3, because you were thinking for like a couple of minutes, or is that just for another reason that you think for 2 or 3 minutes in such a position?
No, I mean, sometimes you think for a reason, sometimes there's no real reason. So,
it's the first minutes of the game. There's a lot of photographers on stage. I mean, does that bother you then? And that's just thinking 2 or 3 minutes just to get rid of them is not nicely said, but okay, at some point they have to go, and then you can really concentrate. Is that it?
No, not really.
No. Okay. Is it true that you use the clock as a major weapon against your opponents?
Well, I don't know about major weapon, but for sure, if possible, I like to play 2 against 1. Yeah, so if if I'm putting if there's the possibility to put pressure on the clock, then one should use it without going too far, but
but I also mean delaying the moment that you're going for it, delaying until your opponent has very little time, which is for some reason what happens with your opponents at some point.
Well, I don't know if there were so many instances of that in this tournament, though, but I think it's just sound strategy. Yeah.
Okay. Well, my final question is, if you look back in the last 5, 6, 7 years, how do you manage to still improve some parts of your play?
I don't know if I have. So now the last few tournaments, it's mostly been about restoring my play to the level that it was before. There is always psychological things, openings I can be better at, and so on.
I can imagine that you're just analyzing games and see what happens with the quality of your plays, and that there's no really major plan behind it.
No.
It isn't. Okay. Well, that was my part. Any questions from you?
Of course, you won tournaments elsewhere where Luc van Wely didn't participate. But here in Weigernsee, a lot seems to depend on what I'd refer to as the Van Wely factor. If you meet him early in the tournament and win, then you also win the tournament. If you meet him late in the tournament and draw, or the one year when he didn't play, you did not win. Intermediate, one year you met him and beat him, but only in round 10 and finished shared first with Aronan. Luke's own comment was, apparently I'm a source of inspiration for Magnus. What's your comment on it?
Let me first rephrase the question for our sound. The question is there something like a Van Wely factor, and that it is supposed to be if Magnus plays him early in the tournament and wins, he usually wins the tournaments, and if not, his results are worse. Magnus?
I don't know. I think it also has to do with the fact that I've become a better player. So the last few years, I think that's the main reasons why I've started winning these tournaments and not Luke, but I enjoy my games with Luke a lot, and because he always goes for a fight, and he's so far not able to punish me.
Okay. Anybody else?
Magnus, congratulations. There were some players here that will be in the candidate tournament. Did your opinion changed about the favorites of the tournament in March? What do you think after this tournament? What are your thoughts after this tournament?
Magnus, the question is, who do you think is the favorite in the candidates tournament in March?
Well, I think I've always thought that having an important tournament like the candidates is no excuse for playing poorly. So I think you can hide some openings. Certainly, some openings were hidden here, but it's still possible to play very well, even if you cannot play all your main stuff. And I think people like Anish and Sergei Karyakin, they will not be very happy with their play here. Certainly they did not play all their main openings, but they didn't play so well either. But I wouldn't put too much emphasis on it, thinking about the candidates tournament. I mean, you start with a new tournament, clean slate, and I think they will be able to focus on positive experience they have had before rather than the experiences they've had during this tournament.
Is it important for you to play a game for the ages in a tournament?
I would if I could, you know. To be fair, there weren't any particularly brilliant games of mine this year. There were some interesting ones, many solid ones, but no, I think I focus mostly on the result, and I really want to play to play brilliant games, but the result has to come before, and I don't play for brilliance. It's just for the sake of it. I guess in this tournament for sure there wasn't anything that came close.
Okay. Then I have 2 questions for tournament director Jeroen van den Berg. My first is, how do you look back at this year's tournament?
Well, I think we have again seen a very nice event in all aspects. This is more for me as, let's say, as an organizer. Everything ran quite smoothly. Again, we had a new team, some new faces, but everything, well, run as we hope that it should run. And for the tournament itself, I'm definitely also, but Magnus is a bit modest maybe, but I think he also played some interesting games, also nice attacking games. But also David Navarra played some very interesting games, which is always nice for your event. B group was very exciting till the very end today, but the same goes for the A group. It was not clear what would happen, let's say, after the round had started today. So all in all, I'm very happy with the tournament. Actually, as always.
Thank you. And can you give us the date for next year's event?
Yes, I can. The 79th Tata Steel Chess Tournament will take place from Friday the 13th of January up to and including the 29th of January, Sunday.
Okay, Jeroen, thank you. Thank you all.
Well played.
Presumably, yes.
It's a good tradition that we invite the winner back, but maybe we didn't start the negotiation yet. But personally, it's my wish, of course, that Magnus comes back to defend his title here. Let me be clear in that.
Okay, thank you all and see you next year.